However, for David Cone in 16 starts.
Coney, a bit like Orlando Hernandez of last night. He must throw the fastball and avoid the temptation to drop down too much. He falls in love with that sometimes. Expect a lot of base runners. He's much like a football team that allows the defenses that allow a team to run from the 20 to the 20. But it's tough getting across the plate against him. Buried arm angles like El Duque.
We remind you, as always, the broadcast also available in Spanish by utilizing the SAP button on your television. And this place is ready to enjoy Game 2 of the American League Championship Series. Joe Torre and the New York Yankees have won 11 consecutive postseason games, while the Boston Red Sox have lost 9 consecutive ALCS games. And we will, as we look at Jimmy Williams, tell you who the umpires are tonight. Dan Morrison is behind the plate, joined by Rick Reed, who was the center of controversy in last night's 10th inning. He's at first, Al Clark at second, Dale Scott at third, Tim Toshida's in left, and Tim McClellan, who worked the plate last night, is down the right field line. Rick Reed, who blew the call at second base. Offerman walks in. It was Offerman sliding in, called out by Rick Reed. And I was impressed, and I enjoyed reading what Rick Reed said after the fact, where he said, as an umpire, it's my job to get it right. I didn't get it right. So he admits that he blew the call. It is very, very, very small consolation to the Red Sox and their fans, but he admitted that he got the call wrong, and it was a major mistake. As moments later, it was Bernie Williams leading off in the bottom of the 10th. He won it with a home run. First pitch to Offerman misses, and we let you listen into roll call as they will get these Yankee fielders' attention, and they chant the name until that fielder acknowledges that they're calling for him. Ricky Leday in left. 2 balls, no strikes on Offerman. Now 2-1. O'Neill just acknowledged, and now they get a little louder as they work the infield.
Chuck saying, hold on, guys, wait 1 second. Okay.
I do have other things. Timing is everything. You'd like to acknowledge the fans, but there are pressing matters.
3 balls, 1 strike on Offerman. Leading off, Valentin next. And that's into right off the end of the bat for O'Neill. 1 away. A few more names to go. I think they're up to Brocious. Thank you. Thank you very much. A little trickier, I would imagine, with a pitcher and catcher.
It would really be tough to have a 3-pitch first inning. You might only get around the outfield in the roll call. Have to pick it up in the second inning. 1
out, nobody on, and the batter is Valentin, who takes a little low for ball 1. They were just chanting, and I think they still are chanting David Cone, but he is zeroed in on John Valentin. 1 out, nobody on, and that's low. 2-0.
Expect a lot of deep counts from David Cone. Joe Torre telling us before the game, I expect Coney to be a little wild.
He's 2-0 on Valentin, who last night was 1 for 5 with a run scored in game 1. And he is wild with a number 2 hitter. He's 3-0.
David Cone walked 90 batters in 193 1/3 innings pitched throughout the regular season. A lot of those by design, some of those due to wildness.
There's a strike. Come back, John Valentin, 3-1.
Right at the knees.
And on 3-1, Valentin takes down and in for a 1-out walk. So you say expect a lot of base runners. Last night, the Red Sox put the first 3 on, ended up with 2 runs scoring in the first inning. They got 1 in the second and then didn't score the rest of the night. Eventually lost 4-3. And now with 1 on, 1 out, here's Brian Daubach. Daubach, he hit last night in 5 at-bats. He drove home a run.
Remember in last night's game, the Red Sox came out swinging. They're going to have to be a little more selective with David Cone.
Daubach into left field, pretty well hit. Ledet back in front of the track, 2 out. So a runner at first is Valentin, 2 down, and Nomar Garciaparra will stride to the plate.
Brian Daubach, first pitch swinging. Pretty good chance Nomar Garciaparra will do the same. Very aggressive hitters. They go up to the plate. The first pitch they see in the strike zone, they're letting that bat fly.
Garciaparra very aggressive and loves the ball inside. There are very few American League pitchers who can blow the ball by Nomar inside.
Runner at first with 2 out, and taking a pitch off the outside corner for ball 1 is Garciaparra. Nomar for the entire postseason in 1999, 5 out of 16, 2 homers, 4 RBIs. The 1-0. Little off balance, and that's foul back toward the Red Sox dugout. Not a play.
Off speed, off balance.
And a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Nomar Garciaparra. Orlando El Duque Hernandez on your left. El Duque pitched well last night. Struggled early, settled down, and gave the Yankees 8 strong innings in the end. 1 ball, 1 strike, and that's strike 2. Big rip by Garciaparra.
And a little shake of the right wrist there after trying to extend on that breaking ball that was down and away from him. Still suffering some of the ill effects from getting beamed back on September 25th on that right wrist.
And like a switch flipped on, the crowd comes alive. As Cone drops down, a little different arm angle in the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Troy O'Leary, a hero in Game 5 of the division series in Cleveland, on deck.
4 straight breaking balls from David Cone. Ramon Martinez awaits his call.
He'll take the mound to the bottom of this first. Garciaparra did not swing, and now with a full count, the runner at first, Valentin, will take off. The matchup tonight. Runner goes, and Garciaparra fouls it away.
Well, we've seen more breaking balls in this at bat to Nomar Garciaparra than we'll probably see all night from Ramon Martinez. David Cone not afraid to throw breaking balls on every pitch. 6 consecutive breaking balls here to Garciaparra. Ramon Martinez more of a fastball changeup pitcher that will mix in an occasional breaking ball.
You saw Tino Martinez holding against the runner at first base. A lot of teams 3-2-2 out would play behind him, not the Yankees.
Runner goes, and there's ball 4. We asked David Cone about this Red Sox lineup. The guy he highlighted, the man he just walked.
Well, I think normally, if you pick out one guy in their lineup you don't want to let beat you, obviously it's Nomar, hands down, but it seems like everybody in their lineup is hot right now and swinging the bat well, including John Valentin and Troy O'Leary. So you can't really make your whole game plan around one player when their team is so hot as they are right now.
So if he was selective, if he was careful, 7 consecutive breaking balls to Garciaparra, didn't care if he walked him, but now he has to deal with O'Leary, who swings and hammers at that pitch for strike 1.
David Cone will not feature that same breaking ball to a left-handed batter. They pick it up too well. Fastballs inside, fastballs tailing away to left-handers, and the left-handers, the hitters that he uses the splitter on. Ball that goes down, toppling down out of the strike zone usually.
Boston got 2 in the first inning last night. They had 2 on, 2 out, now 2 strikes on O'Leary.
Looked like the splitter right there.
Two on, 2 out. First inning. Goodbye. 2 walks in the inning for Cone. 1 strikeout. Ramon Martinez takes the mound for the Red Sox. No score. Bottom of the first inning here at Yankee Stadium, and Ramon Martinez goes to work. Take a look at the Budweiser starting lineup for the Yankees. They lead off with Chuck Knobloch at second base. Derek Jeter batting second at short. Paul O'Neill back in there again tonight, hitting third in right field. Bernie Williams, one of the heroes last night for the Yankees, cleans up. Then Tino Martinez at first. The DH tonight, Darryl Strawberry. Ricky Leday's in left field. Scott Brocious, who had 3 hits out of the number 9 spot last night, bats 8th. And it's Joe Girardi catching and batting 9th.
Take a look at the defense behind Ramon Martinez. The same 9 that were out there last night. Troy O'Leary, Darren Lewis, Trot Nixon across the outfield. Valentin, Garciaparra, Offerman, Stanley in the infield. Veritek catching Ramon Martinez. Nomar made a couple errors in the ball game last night. Also made a couple of tremendous defensive plays.
His plus minus, I think, was still up. He was still on the plus side.
Ramon Martinez did not pitch in the big leagues from June of '98 until September 2nd of this year. One of only 4 pitchers to pitch their first game in September and then start a game in the postseason. But look at that career average, 125 and 78. This guy was a big winner for the Dodgers. As Keith Olbermann said, a 20-game winner in 1990. He also struck out 18 in a game in '91.
And he was known for that rising fastball in his days with the Dodgers. He's starting to increase his velocity with each successive outing. He hit 93 on the gun a couple times in Game 3 against Cleveland. Tremendous straight changeup that runs in the family. And as I mentioned, just mixes in enough breaking balls to keep the opposing hitters honest.
Chuck Knobloch will walk in and lead it off with Jeter and O'Neill to follow. No score in the bottom of the first inning after the Red Sox stranded 2. And Knobloch, who last night was 1 out of 3, takes the ball low.
And Martinez did not allow a base runner in Game 3 of that division series until the 4th inning. A leadoff walk to Jose Offerman. He was very strong early. Fastballs and changeups.
Little tailing action on that fastball that hits the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That is not the type of fastball. As you see Derek Jeter on deck, that's not the type fastball he threw with the Dodgers. That's a 2-seam fastball, the ones he's thrown to Knobloch thus far.
On 1-1, Knobloch took another tailing fastball for a strike, and he's in the hole 1-2.
And it should be pointed out also in Game 3 that Ramon Martinez almost exclusively worked the outside part of the plate. He did not even come inside very often for effect.
He has Knobloch set up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And now 2-2. The irony of this series so far is that Ramon Martinez may give the Red Sox the most important start of this ALCS, not Pedro Martinez. The Red Sox looking for a win here at Yankee Stadium. If they don't get one here tonight, they will head back to Boston down 2-0. And now the count full on Knobloch leading off. Talked about the 4 starts late Tim did for Ramon Martinez. Was impressive enough to get a shot in the division series. Impressive enough there to get another try in the ALCS. And Knobloch, this is going to be close. Valentin, good effort. Got him, 1 away.
Terrific play by John Valentin. Watch the transfer from the glove to the hand. 1 motion, strong throw. Nice play.
Now Valentin is able to get rid of this ball so quickly. He takes only 1 step after he catches the ball, gets off a strong throw. Ooh. Controversy will follow those umpires around the field.
Well, that last angle looked like Knobloch may have been safe, and Joe Torre went out to argue with, well, Rick Reed. Rick Reed, who missed the call at second base last night, fessed up to it. We get another look at this play.
Oh, looks safe there. Yep.
Jose Cardinal, the first base coach for the Yankees, certainly thought so. Of course, he does that on every play at first base.
So one away, base is empty, and Derek Jeter stands in with O'Neill next. The ball up and in. Ramon Martinez never did develop the reputation that younger brother Pedro developed while in the National League of being a guy who would throw inside and, well, at times throw at hitters. 2 balls, no strikes.
When Pedro came in the game on Monday night in Cleveland, Ramon was his pitching coach. Joe Kerrigan stepped aside and let Ramon handle Pedro.
2 balls, no strikes, and there's a strike from Ramon. 2-1.
All in the family.
And why not? 2 brothers who grew up in the Dominican Republic. The younger brother Pedro grew up idolizing Ramon, followed Ramon into the Dodger organization. It is a very close family, very close brothers, and as you heard Dan Duquette say in the pregame show, they first asked Pedro Martinez his opinions as to whether they should add Ramon Martinez if it would make him feel funny, if he wanted him on the team. He did, and it's worked out well. 3 balls and a strike, and now a full count on Derek Jeter. Red Sox signing Ramon Martinez for a couple $1 million now, a contract that will escalate next year. Might have been worth $2 million to the Red Sox to have his influence in a Red Sox uniform just to help Pedro Martinez in a phenomenal regular season. Still a full count on Derek Jeter.
Ramon Martinez had the longest outing by any Red Sox pitcher in the division series, with the exception of his brother Pedro. The 6 innings of no-hit relief in that decisive 5th game. Ramon went 5 2/3 as a starter in Game 3, by far the longest outing of any starter on the Red Sox staff.
O'Neill waits to hit next. 1 out, nobody on. 3 balls, 2 strikes on Jeter. And that's well hit to right, but they had him played perfectly. Nixon over near the line. 2 up, 2 down.
Most defenses in the American League, with 2 strikes on Derek Jeter, they play him like a left-handed pull hitter. And the Red Sox playing Nixon about 15 feet from the right field line. And this fastball sliced down the line, and Nixon with a relatively easy chance.
What a night last night, guys, for Trot Nixon.
That's a considerably easier chance than he had in the ball game last night. Boy, a scary moment for Nixon as he goes headlong into that wall over there down the right field line. And a pop-up, he comes in, takes his eye off the ball, sticks his glove out, and Merry Christmas.
To say nothing of the throw he made to the plate. When Brocious came around to score what was the tying run in the 7th inning on a hit by Jeter, a perfect throw where his body was literally parallel to the ground when he let it go and tumbled. But Veritek couldn't handle it. Tying game at that point. Eventually a Yankee victory. 1 ball, no strikes on O'Neill. 1-1. Back to that throw in the 7th.
A maximum effort throw from Trot Nixon. He gets horizontal after releasing that ball toward home plate. Right on the money to Jason Veritek. Veritek just not able to hang on.
Some things you notice later. Derek Lowe, the pitcher, wasn't backing up Veritek there. He was serving as a cutoff man and out of position.
2 balls and a strike now on O'Neill.
Pitcher with a runner on at second base. You get a hit to the outfield. You got to back up the catcher. Derek Lowe with a brain lock there and did not back up Veritek. Could have allowed Jeter to go to second.
2 out, nobody on. O'Neill took it high. 3 balls and a strike.
Maybe even third, given the amount of territory behind home plate to the backstop here at Yankee Stadium, and Derek Jeter being the heads-up runner that he is. Veritek was laying on his back at home plate at the time. If that ball would have gotten through his legs and gone all the way to the backstop, Jeter may have ended up on third base.
Base is empty with 2 out. The 3-1 to O'Neill. Full count again. Jimmy Williams talking to us before the game, and I'm sure eventually we will get into his thoughts on that call at second base, call that went against the Red Sox. The top of the 10th inning on a throw that looked really for all the world that second baseman Chuck Knobloch dropped. And I guess his main argument is a very valid argument. Why is it in baseball that a manager has to go out and ask an umpire to ask for help, as opposed to football? They get together, they get the call right. As opposed to the NBA or college basketball, the officials get together, somebody with a different angle will come over and say, no, I saw it this way, let's reverse the call. It does not happen that way very often in baseball. 3-2 pitch and a 2-out walk to O'Neill. And now with 1 on, 2 out, Bernie Williams, last night's hero in the 10th, stands in. Williams has been an LCS hero for the New York Yankees. 1996 ALCS MVP. A homer in Game 1 to win it against the Orioles. He homered last night to win Game 1 against the Red Sox and Rob Beck.
Bernie Williams, the only player in postseason history to hit 2 walk-off home runs. Game ends.
There have been 24 walk-off home runs hit in postseason play, and Bernie with 2 of them.
That's popped into right field. Williams got under it, and Nixon waits. Drifted at the track to put it away. Big swing by Williams, but he popped it up. A 2-out walk. Ramon Martinez gets around it. And after 1 inning in game number 2, no score. Back to the hill. Couple of walks for Cone in the first inning, got around him. 1 walk for Ramon Martinez in the bottom of the first, got around it. And here is Mike Stanley to lead off for the Red Sox. 1 for 4 last night. And when David Cone pitches, people wear those.
We hope that's the only time they wear those.
Beldar and the crew.
Dan Aykroyd.
Here's
Remulac.
Here's the first pitch, and Stanley comes up empty. Strike 1. That's really sad. That stuff is bouncing around the gray matter here in Game 2 of the ALCS. The 0-1 to Stanley, a former Yankee. No balls, 2 strikes.
That's a tough thing about that slider from David Cone to right-handed batters. They can't seem to catch up to it. It keeps sliding away. True to its name when David Cone drops down to a right-hander.
Stanley a pop-up on the infield for Tino Martinez. Leadoff man is gone. Admittedly, David Cone will tell you early in his career when he was with the New York Mets, he didn't get a lot of rest, period. And I'm not talking about baseball. He had a good time and got himself into trouble at one point. He's been very forthright about that. And now we say he likes his rest because you look at the sheer statistics of it. 5 or more days rest this season. An ERA of 2.5 on 4 days rest. An ERA of up near 5 in 13 starts. Jason Varitek now with 1 out, nobody on. David Cone pitching tonight on 11 days rest.
Almost as much rest as he had before July 18th when he pitched a perfect game against the Montreal Expos. 15th regular season perfect game in Major League history. What a day that was. Yogi Berra Day. Don Larson, who pitched the only perfect game in postseason play back in 1956 for the Yankees, was present that day. Unbelievable.
Varitek takes a strike, and it's 2-1. That on the heels of 1998's perfect game. thrown by David Wells on Beanie Baby Day here at Yankee Stadium. Varitek 2-2, and I say that not to be funny. I think it's an interesting point to bring up because it was Beanie Baby Day. So many kids were here at the ballpark.
Yeah.
And they took away memories for a lifetime watching a perfect game here at Yankee Stadium. Varitek golfs one into right field. Well hit at the wall. It is back into the field of play. Varitek will round second, head for third, and he's standing there with only one out.
Now, did that hit the railing? We saw a ball hit by Travis Fryman in Cleveland that hit the top of the padding, came up, hit the railing, and came back. It was initially called a double. Nope, that hit the padding and came back. A good call by right field umpire Tim McClellan.
Paul O'Neill using his legs as well as his arms to try to protect himself as he crashes into that right field wall. Remember, a broken rib on that right side. O'Neill made a nice running sliding catch on the outfield last night. Climbs the wall here. Loses sight of the ball after it hits the wall. It ricochets back into the field of play. O'Neill was still looking up.
So Jimmy Williams, Bob went out to talk to the umpire, and exactly what we talked about moments ago, at least asked for Tim McClellan to ask for help and see if anybody disagreed with his ruling that that ball stayed in play. It is a triple for Jason Varitek. And Darren Lewis has a chance to put the Red Sox out in front. The infield will creep in for the play at the plate. Runner at third, one out, no score here in the second inning.
Darren Lewis, an excellent bunter, so the squeeze is in order, even though it's the second inning.
And a pop-up on the infield into the glove of Jeter. 2 gone.
That's the reason I was talking about a squeeze, because Darren Lewis has a very difficult time driving the ball deep enough to the outfield to score a run from third with less than 2 outs. A little overly anxious there, and pops up, and the Yankees move the infield back into regular depth.
Well, Boston following a similar pattern tonight that they used against El Duque last night. As you see that breaking ball hit off the very end of Lewis's bat. Red Sox being very aggressive, swinging at a lot of early pitches against David Cone.
So Varitek, who hit only 2 triples during the regular season in 1999, is standing at third now with 2 out after that 1-out triple. And Trot Nixon hits one into right field. Back is O'Neill near the track to end the inning, and a missed opportunity for the Red Sox here in the second. A 1-out triple by Varitek. He is left standing on. The Red Sox have already left 3 after an inning and a half here at Yankee Stadium. No score. This is an ALCS or LCS or postseason first as far as we know. That's Saturn. That's Jupiter. And there's the Conehead.
It was a long trip in.
We've yet to find Remulac. A distant planet as Tino Martinez takes a ball up from Ramon Martinez. It'll be Tino Martinez, Darryl Strawberry, and Ricky Leday. No score in the second. What a golden opportunity wasted by the Red Sox in the top of the inning. A 1-out triple by Varitek, infield in, and Lewis on the first pitch popped it up. So no lead for the Red Sox, no lead for Ramon. Here's his 2-0 to Tino Martinez. 3 balls, no strikes.
Joe Torre will allow Tino Martinez to swing on a 3-0 count. Paul O'Neill doesn't like to do it, but Tino Martinez does.
There is that 3-0 pitch, and there is the swing. And it's a ground ball to first, picked up easily by Stanley, 1 away. So swinging on 3-0 and a roller over to first for the first out of the second.
If you're swinging 3-0, you don't want the ball to be outside. every hitter hits out of an imaginary box, and with the count 3-0, you have to make sure that imaginary box is smaller. If you're a low ball hitter, make the ball be down and in, something to yank.
And now Darryl Strawberry, who is playing in his 4th league championship series and who has 6 LCS home runs, bats with 1 out, nobody on. And takes a ball outside. Where do the 6 home runs in LCS play stack up? They stack up there. George Brett with 9, Steve Garvey with 8. And then it's Darryl Strawberry, Reggie Jackson, Jim Thome, and Manny Ramirez, all with 6.
Boston defensively overshifted to the right side for Darryl Strawberry. Nomar Garciaparra on the second base side of the bag.
1 out, nobody on, and that's inside 2-1.
Darryl will pull the ball on the ground, but he has great power the other way. Left center field. That's where he hit the 3-run homer against Esteban Loaiza of the Rangers in Game 3.
Way out in front of that Martinez family changeup, and the count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's handed down from generation to generation. Such a tremendous arm action on that pitch. That's what makes it so good. The hitter sees the arm action, tells himself it's a fastball.
There is a fastball that misses outside, and the count full 3-2.
Strawberry may get the changeup again right here. Good time for it. Changeup and a fastball count. Fastball inside.
On 3-2. That caught the corner. 2 gone, and the first strikeout for Ramon Martinez. So with younger brother Pedro bundled up over in the dugout, here's what big brother does with another tailing pitch to a left-handed batter.
Well, I know I'm surprised, and I'm certain the Yankee hitters are surprised how many times Ramon Martinez has gone inside, especially on the left-handed hitters in the Yankee lineup.
In this ballpark. 314 down the line.
And now with 2 out, nobody on, Ricky Leday, who did not appear in last night's game, takes a ball. Martinez has run the count full 4 times now. 3 times in the first inning. He walked O'Neill with 2 out, nobody on in the first, got around it. Martinez up 3-0 is swinging in this inning, grounded out. Strawberry struck out, and Leday takes a strike. It's 1-1. Ricky Leday, who came on in the second half of the season, ended up with a .276 average, 9 home runs. Batting in front of Brocious, and that's off the end of the bat, shallow left. Base hit with 2 out for Ricky Leday, and the second inning continues.
At least somebody on the Yankees bench is saying he hit it like you threw it. Change up off the end of the bat, little flare to left field for the first Yankee hit of the night.
Throw it soft, hit it soft. The ball didn't even bend the grass when it landed.
Butterfly with sore feet. Isn't that what they say in golf?
It's a hit for Leday, and with 2 out, here's Scott Brocious. What a start to Game 1 he had last night when he homered his first time, tripled his next, singled and scored in his 3rd at bat. He was 3 out of 4. And a look over at Leday, who stole only 4 bases during the regular season. None so far in this postseason. Ball 1.
2 predominantly high ball hitters in the Yankee lineup. One is Chuck Knobloch. The other is Scott Brocious. A changeup last night in that area right there. But pitchers, for the most part, try to keep the ball down against Scott.
Check on Leday as Martinez again pays attention to the base runner.
Pretty good running situation right here. Even though Martinez is quicker to the plate, throwing that 2-seam fastball than he used to be.
There goes Leday. Pitch outside. Varitek's throw. Got it. Ricky Leday is caught stealing to end the second inning. Leday, a 2-out hit thrown out by Varitek. No score after 2. Game 2. Back after this from your local Fox station.
Tag by Jose Offerman.
And here is Offerman leading off. And a ground ball up the middle's a base hit. Offerman on to start the inning. For the Red Sox, that's their second hit of the night. The other's the 1-out triple by Varitek that was wasted. And now Valentin, Daubach, and Garciaparra will try to move him around the bases. Valentin is so far 1 out of 5 in this ALCS. Threw a walk his first time up. Has 12 RBIs in this postseason as he waits. And takes a strike. David Cone, who did not appear in the division series against the Rangers, was scheduled to pitch game 4, and the series never got to game 4. And he was moved up in the rotation for this ALCS to pitch in game 2. Switching places with him while Clemens stays the number 3 starter is Andy Pettitte, who will work on Sunday in game 4 in Fenway. Not much of a lead for Offerman.
And a vital game for the Red Sox. Momentum with the Yankees right now, but if the Red Sox win tonight and then go into Fenway with Pedro Martinez pitching on Saturday in the shadows, you know he's opposing Roger Clemens. I think the momentum swings back to Boston.
That's 2 quick strikes on Valentin. 0-2. It doesn't matter, Bob, who is facing Pedro Martinez. Could be Roger Clemens, could be Maddox, could be Millwood, could be Glavine, could be Leiter. Anybody. This guy's the best in the game.
I don't think there's much argument about that this year. Certainly Randy Johnson dominated the National League, but just wasn't able to get the victories, basically because his team didn't score a lot of runs for him this year. But Martinez is the best of both worlds. Pitched well, got a lot of support.
The 0-2 to Valentin is wasted up and away. Joe Torre has 400 victories in his first 4 seasons as the manager of the Yankees. It's the best total after 4 years. Casey Stengel won 388 between 1949 and 1952. These Yankees, who have won 2 of the last 3 World Series, trying to get back to the Fall Classic to face either the Mets or the Braves. Red Sox trying to get back to the World Series for the first time since 1986. Gone is Valentin on the second strikeout of the night for David Cone.
Bob, that looked like a Mike Jackson slider right there.
The Cone can make his slider look different. Take a little off, drop down a little bit. It becomes a bigger breaking ball, or stay on top a little more and make it like the one he just struck out John Valentin with.
Mike Jackson, the short reliever for the Cleveland Indians, has a slider by design to right-handed batters that he throws inside intentionally.
And now Daubach with 1 on, 1 out.
Just hate to see guys leading off of first base with their hands on their legs. That's the worst running position from which to start, whether you're stealing a base or not stealing a base. The reason is, before you have to run, you have to take your hands off your knees.
Daubach takes the ball. I'm sure Ricky Henderson and the Mets are watching this telecast, and if you can picture Henderson taking his lead, he's got those hands dangling between his legs, twitching those fingers. The opposite of what Offerman's doing on a cold night in the Bronx. One ball, no strikes on the hitter Daubach. Garciaparra next, and that's strike one. Basically straight away for Daubach in the outfield are the Yankees. Left center field open a bit for this left-handed hitting rookie. Hit 21 home runs during the regular season. He's had a rough postseason. 5 out of 21 with 8 strikeouts. That's strike 2. I guess if you're Jimmy Williams, you don't mess around with the lineup or the hitting order when your offense does what it did the last 3 games in the division series against Cleveland. But this has been the Red Sox lineup. Offerman stole 18 during the regular season. None so far in the postseason, and at this point doesn't look like he's going to run. 1 on, 1 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes on Daubach. And a pop-up. Shallow right center. And Williams takes charge and makes the catch. 2 gone. That'll bring in Garciaparra back to his first at bat.
Nomar rolling a lucky 7 his first time up. 7 straight breaking balls. Count them. 1, 2. We're up to 4. A hard 6. David Cone crapped out on that one.
So now I guess number 8 coming to Garciaparra. So you go up there expecting the breaking ball.
Sure. Got it.
Ground ball through the left side and a base hit into left. So a leadoff hit by Offerman. Now a 2-out single by Garciaparra. 2 on, 2 out.
Real hanger here.
All those breaking balls in that sequence were down low and away from Garciaparra. That one you can see up and over the plate. The big swing. A lot of topspin on that ground ball. Gets it by Brocious and on into left field for a base hit.
So another scoring opportunity for the Red Sox, who have already left 3. Runners on at first and second. No score here in the 3rd inning. Troy O'Leary, who struck out his first time, digs in. O'Leary called out on strikes his first time up. Tried to check it, could not. Strike 1.
Second time through the order, David Cone taking advantage of the aggressiveness of the Red Sox hitters. Starts O'Leary out with a split finger in the dirt, gets the check swing and miss.
Red Sox trying to grab a 3rd inning lead. 2 on, 2 out. And O'Leary out in front. Strike 2. Basically all of the damage that O'Leary has done this postseason came in game 5 of the division series. He hit the grand slam against Nagy. And then the 3-run shot, which took it from an 8-8 game to 11-8 and an eventual 12-8 victory. And that's why the Red Sox are here. That and a guy who threw 6 no-hit innings. Cone gives a look back at Offerman. The 0-2. Troy just got a piece to stay up there.
David Cone trying to go with the backdoor breaking ball there. What a left-handed hitter does, when he sees a breaking ball like that, he thinks it's going to be inside, because most sliders are designed to come inside. And what they do, they give up on that pitch, but not O'Leary here.
Again, the 0-2. A ball from David Cone.
I'm sorry, Jose Offerman, the runner at second, really has to rely on his third base coach, Wendell Kim, because Derek Jeter is playing directly behind Offerman. Knobloch way over in the hole between first and second. Of course, Offerman cannot see the shortstop behind him, has to rely on that third base coach to let him know when Jeter breaks in behind.
A visit to the mound from Girardi. And this has been a good combination for David Cone. The hookup with Girardi behind the plate, as opposed to Jorge Posada. Cone 29-12 when Girardi catches him. 3-4 this season when Posada caught him. O'Leary grounds it foul past first. And it stays 1-2.
O'Leary very quick on the inside part of the plate with 2 strikes. That ball just does bounce foul down that right field line.
Jordan's in the inning for the Red Sox, and O'Leary, who is trying to battle now just to stay alive, trying to put Boston out in front here in game 2.
Keep that backdoor breaking ball in mind. That was a splitter low and away. David Cone, unusual. He actually has more ways to get left-handed batters out as a right-handed pitcher than he does right-handed batters. He won't throw that splitter to right-handers.
It was 0-2. Now it's 2-2, and O'Leary pops it foul, backing out of play. Joe Torre with one of the few big game pitchers left in the game today, out on the mound for the Yankees. David Cone with that crucial victory in game 3 in the 1996 World Series down in Atlanta. 2 on, 2 out. And now a full count. The runners will get a head start.
David Cone up to 49 pitches in this ball game.
And O'Leary wants more time.
Runners on at first and second, 3-2 and 2 outs. The trail runner, Garciaparra, becomes very important. Any hit to the outfield, Offerman walks home. But a short double, long single, if Garciaparra is running hard, he could score also.
Runners go. O'Leary strikes out. David Cone got into trouble in the first, got out of it. He struck out O'Leary. Gets into trouble in the third, gets out of it by striking out O'Leary. He's left 4 runners on, and after 2.5, no score. Ramon Martinez back to work. He's allowed 1 hit through 2 innings. No score into the bottom of the 3rd inning of game 2 of this American League Championship Series. Scott Brocious will lead it off. In the month of August, he lost his father, Maury Brocious, to cancer. Here are his thoughts as he plays this postseason without his father around.
There's certainly times where I miss him a lot. You know, the phone calls like after we clinched, after games like, you know, last night where, you know, he'd be excited to talk about the game. You kind of miss not being able to get on the phone and talk.
There's no doubt that His father Maury would have been excited and proud of what Scott did last night. 3 hits in his first 3 at bats, including a home run, a triple, a single, and he leads it off at the plate when Leday was out stealing. To end the second, and the first pitch is a ball from Ramon Martinez.
First breaking ball thrown by Ramon Martinez tonight. Little wrinkle at the end, a slider.
There's a strike, and it's 1-1. It'll be Brocious, then Girardi, then Knobloch. 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Yankees in the 3rd inning.
We mentioned Ramon Martinez coming back from right shoulder surgery, and many times that surgery will not only alter a pitcher's style but his mechanics on the mound as well. A lot of people in the National League in Ramon's days with the Dodgers felt he was an injury waiting to happen.
2 balls, 2 strikes. That injury finally did happen. He ended up having shoulder surgery. Repaired the shoulder, worked his way back into shape, made 10 minor league rehab starts for the Red Sox, and he gets Brocious on a comebacker. 1 up, 1 down here in the 3rd inning.
In his days with the Los Angeles Dodgers, Ramon Martinez was known for how he used to throw the front shoulder open. He really drastically pulled that front shoulder open, put a lot of strain on the right shoulder, the throwing shoulder. See how his head drops down to the left? And now with the Red Sox, after the injury, after some retooled mechanics, much more under control, driving straight toward the target rather than flying open toward first base. Take a lot of pressure off that surgically repaired right shoulder.
Girardi flies one into shallow right center, falling in a hurry, base hit. In front of Nixon, and Girardi has the 2nd Yankee hit of the night.
Both of the hits the Yankees have off Ramon Martinez have been flares. One by Ricky Leday off the end of the bat. This one by Joe Girardi off the end of the bat. Trot Nixon, realizing that he had help behind him, could afford to try to make the shoestring catch, knowing that Darren Lewis was backing him up.
And now 1 on, 1 out, back to the top of the order, and Chuck Knobloch, who grounded out to 3rd on a mildly disputed call at first. So 0 for 1. And now 3 out of 16 in this postseason. A little high from Martinez. Surgery for Ramon finally did happen on June 30th of 1998. Picked up his first major league victory in better than a year at Fenway against Baltimore on September 25th. One ball, 1 strike.
As part of his rehab, Ramon made 4 starts in rookie ball, 4 starts in A ball for 2 different clubs, and then 2 starts at Pawtucket in AAA before returning to the major leagues with the Red Sox.
Really had back-to-back good efforts against the Orioles down the stretch. Runner at first with 1 out, no score in the bottom of the 3rd inning here in game 2.
13 innings of work. His last 2 starts of the year against the Orioles, only 1 run yielded.
Knobloch ready, so is Martinez. He checks on Girardi, who attempted 4 steals during the regular season, just trying to keep him close. Hit and run situation here with Knobloch.
Possibility. When Martinez was in the National League, you wouldn't even think about it. He threw too many fly balls. Now, however, more ground balls.
Girardi stays put on ball 2, the tie to Knobloch. Joe Kerrigan, the Red Sox pitching coach on the right, actually hired by Boston before they hired their manager, Jimmy Williams. Outfield swung around way to the right for the right-handed hitting Knobloch as he pops it up. Stanley, the first baseman, in fair territory, makes the catch. 2 out. You talked, Tim, last night about Knobloch and that back shoulder dropping. It did just there, and Knobloch is now 3 out of 17 in this postseason.
Here's what Joe is talking about. Watch the back shoulder. When that back shoulder drops down, then you can't help but get under the ball, and that's what Chuck did. Hits that little pop fly toward the right side.
There's so little margin for error when a hitter does that with the shoulder. You can catch an occasional pitch right on the button and hit those tape measure home runs, but that's certainly a rarity.
About the only ball you can handle when that shoulder drops like that is that ball down and in, occasionally.
Now Jeter, who can handle just about anything thrown his way, takes a pitch low and away for ball 1. Derek lined out to right his first time up. Led the American League, led really the major leagues with 219 hits this year. Rookie of the Year in '96. 2-time All-Star. 2-time World Series champion. '96 and '98. A young man who has handled the spotlight and the pressure of playing shortstop for the Yankees extraordinarily well. Jam there. Good pitch from Martinez. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Ramon Martinez creeping up on that 50-pitch mark. He threw 100 pitches in Game 3 of the division series. 3 other starts since coming back from the surgery. He's been in the mid-90s in pitch count. Joe Kerrigan, the pitching coach for the Red Sox, definitely will keep an eye on that pitch count, although Jimmy Williams told us no limitations on Ramon tonight. He'll go as long as he can in this ball game.
Runner at first, 2 out, and there's a base hit into right by Jeter. Nixon gets to it quickly, and Girardi has to stop at second. 2 on, 2 out. That's his swing, and that's why his first time up, Nixon was tucked into that right field corner, and he goes the opposite way here.
Saw the swing by Knobloch when he popped to first, where you could see Derek Jeter driving those shoulders toward right field. That front shoulder is the key for almost every hitter. You drive it right back through the originator, right back through the pitcher, you're in a good position to hit. That's why Jeter is so adept at hitting the ball the other way.
It's so tough to defend against.
Yeah,
the guy can hit the ball from foul line to foul line. You can't cheat any one way. We've seen a shift used a couple times in this game already.
The guy like Jeter, it's almost like you need 4 outfielders.
O'Neill now with a chance to put New York out in front. No score in the 3rd inning. 2 on, 2 out. A ball outside. We have yet to see a real authoritative swing from Paul O'Neill. The broken rib on his right side. He is now 3 out of 13 in this postseason. No RBIs after suffering that injury on the 2nd of October against the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. 2 balls, no strikes for Martinez.
Hey, you've got Bernie Williams on deck, 2-0 to Paul O'Neill. If you're Ramon Martinez, you'd rather challenge O'Neill and toy with him and then get Bernie Williams, the Yankees' hottest hitter, up there with the bases loaded.
Challenged and a foul, backing out of play. 2-1.
You know, Tim, I agree. I really think until Paul O'Neill proves that he can swing the bat well and drive the ball with authority, I mean, it's obvious that he's hampered by that rib. Very tentative in his swings. That was a 2-0 fastball right over the heart of the plate, and he was only able to foul it off. Until he proves he can handle that bat and drive the ball, you definitely want to challenge O'Neill and try to keep Bernie Williams in that on-deck circle.
Tell you what, it's a cold night. You can see by how long it took O'Neill to get back into the batter's box. That rib is bothering him. 2 on, 2 out. That's on the inside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Very Greg Maddux-like with this sinker that starts inside off the plate and tails back over that inside corner.
Well, Martinez and his catcher Varitek talk it over, and that guy does that. O'Neill stands at the plate. One way to stay warm and embarrass yourself on national television. 51 degrees here at Yankee Stadium. Humidity 38%. Humidity not a factor at this point tonight. There is a wind. There is a breeze blowing through Yankee Stadium. 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. O'Neill shoots it foul.
You can see Paul shaking his head after yet another futile swing, fouling a ball off to the left.
O'Neill back in. Chance to put the Yankees on top. 3rd inning. And a full count. That'll give Girardi the lead runner at second. A head start on this next pitch.
Tried to come back with that tailing fastball inside. That one just stays inside. Never came back over that inside corner.
Pedro wanted that pitch called a strike more than Ramon. And now with 2 on, 2 out, runners go. And O'Neill squirts it foul. There's a tester for the rib, a little 3-2 changeup. And Jimmy Williams, of all people, is going to go out and pick up the foul tip. Rolls it over to Bernie Williams.
Williams to Williams.
Williams into the seats. Threw it to a Red Sox fan.
What are the chances the fan was named Williams?
Not good. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runners go. And O'Neill floats one into shallow right. Easy for Nixon. And the Yankees strand a couple in the 3rd. They now have left 3. Red Sox have stranded 5. We played 3 in game 2 and there is no score. Time now for David Cone to go back to work. It'll be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Red Sox. A scoreless game. 4th inning, game 2. And here is Mike Stanley, who popped up his first time. Number of missed opportunities for the Red Sox so far. 2 walks in the 1st inning handed out by Cone. O'Leary struck out with 2 on, 2 out. A 1-out triple by Varitek in the 2nd, but Lewis popped up and then Nixon flied out to right. The fly ball to the outfield came 1 hitter too late for the Red Sox, and then after a couple of hits in the 3rd inning, O'Leary struck out again. Ramon Martinez working well on the mound for the Red Sox, and in the 4th inning, strike 1 on Stanley. Quick ones on Mike Stanley on a couple of foul balls. Varitek next. The 0-2 pitch right through Stanley. And that's 4 strikeouts for Cone. That'll bring in Jason Varitek, who back in the 2nd with 1 out did this. Went down to get it and hit it literally off the top of the wall. Miss leaving here by inches. But the Red Sox did nothing with it. The pop up by Darren Lewis, a big out for the 2nd out in that 2nd inning. High for ball 1.
David Cone with that hesitation windup where he delays just a bit on that right leg. David saying that sometimes he goes into his windup and he has no idea what angle he's going to throw the ball from.
1 ball, 1 strike.
6-3 in postseason. Here's that hesitation right there that he will give just to give a different look, particularly the left-handed batters. Effective there with the splitter.
That caught the inside corner. 1-2.
That slider right there to Varitek.
That was pitch number 56 on the night for David Cone. 1 out, nobody on. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2-2.
A little hesitation. Sometimes it's a little longer than others. Other times they'll go right through without a hesitation. Try to upset that hitter's timing.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And another hit for Varitek into left center field. Williams trying to cut it off. Varitek will test the arm of Williams and make it with a double. Varitek now with a triple, a double, and he's in scoring position with 1 out here in the 4th inning.
That is terrific hitting by Jason Varitek. A nasty splitter right below the knees on the outside corner. And watch Varitek again as Derek Jeter driving that ball down the right field line. Varitek driving that front shoulder, the right one, right back through the pitcher.
Driving that front shoulder and also using his hands very well to stay on the ball. Watch how quick his hands are through the zone. Doesn't really open up. He stays right on that ball, drives it the opposite way.
And a chance for Darren Lewis to redeem himself, although the RBI opportunity a little more difficult this time. He has Varitek at second with 1 out. He takes a ball. He's driven in only 2 runs in this postseason. Knocked home 40 during the regular season for the Red Sox. A strike from Cone. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Red Sox came in having scored 50 runs in 6 postseason games so far.
Darren Lewis is more apt to hit the ball as a right-handed batter in that area more than any other right-hander on either club.
That's on the outside corner for strike 2.
Reason for that, he has what pitchers call a slow bat. He drags the bat through the strike zone. There's not a lot of whipping action. The only balls that he pulls are breaking balls and balls that are down and in.
Varitek, the lead runner at second with 1 out. No score, 4th inning. A 2-2 count. Red Sox not very good with runners in scoring position in this series. In fact, hitless, 0 for 8. A chance here to break that streak for Darren Lewis. Outside corner, 2 gone. 5 strikeouts now for the right-hander David Cone.
The eye of the needle on the outside corner.
Many times it's not the pitch you throw or the location, but how do you get to that pitch? David Cone had thrown so many breaking balls that started on the outside part of the plate, broke out of the strike zone. He comes back with a fastball in that same location and freezes Darren Lewis.
5 Bambinos. 5 curses, 5 Bambinos. Whatever. 5 strikeouts for Cone with a runner at second, 2 gone. Nixon takes a strike. They get creative around here with their signs they put up for strikeouts at Yankee Stadium.
They do indeed.
Like that.
That's creative, but 1 short. Also 1 short. Come on, guys, keep up.
1 ball, 1 strike on Nixon. Five Red Sox.
Either that or somebody brought their laundry to the ballpark.
1 ball, 1 strike. Go ahead run at second, 2 out. That's on the inside corner to Nixon. And Cone continues to hit that corner. They want to hang another sock. They want to put up another cone. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Nixon. Two and 2. Leadoff hitter in this lineup. Offerman waits to hit next. Little pop-up shallow center. Only time for Williams. Inning over. That is 6 runners stranded by the Red Sox through the first 4 innings. Bottom of the 4th here in game 2. Still no score. We go to work in the bottom of the 4th inning. So does Ramon Martinez, who had that surgery on his right shoulder June 30th of 1998. We hear his thoughts on the Ramon Martinez now compared to the pre-surgery Ramon Martinez.
The only thing in my seeing a little different, the velocity is not 100% yet, but everything else it's just exactly it'll be the same thing, so I haven't changed anything.
Ball perhaps has a little more sink to it now than it did when he was with the Dodgers. That's understandable until he gets his velocity back. You don't want to throw the high rider if it doesn't ride.
It rides the wrong direction.
Right.
Bernie Williams takes a ball low on the way. It's interesting that a decision by Albert Bell is really the reason why Bernie Williams is back playing with the Yankees. The Yankees, and a lot of people don't know this, had a deal worked out with Albert Bell. But Albert Bell at the end, before signing the contract, backed out. Nixon a running catch and Williams is gone. So when Albert Bell backed out, Bernie Williams was still out there and was offered $91 million to sign with the Boston Red Sox. He wanted to stay here with the Yankees. He called George Steinbrenner, said, make me a fair offer, a competitive offer, I'll come back. They ended up signing him for $87.5 million, getting by on that, Bob. And he is back in Yankee pinstripes and was the hero in last night's game and is a postseason performer for Joe Torre.
That's a pretty competitive offer.
Here's a strike over the inside corner.
The Red Sox finishing 4 games behind the Yankees. Had Bernie Williams signed with the Red Sox, perhaps the Yankees would have finished 4 games behind the Red Sox. And this series would have opened in Boston, not New York. Maybe.
1 out, nobody on. Now 1 ball, 1 strike on Tino Martinez. So the Yankees at one point made a decision. And that decision was go a different direction. They wanted Albert Bell. Can you imagine that marriage here in the Bronx? Wonder how that would have worked out with Albert Bell playing here for the Yankees. They end up going back to Bernie Williams, and after leading the American League last year in average, he ends up 3rd this year, hit .342 and knocked home 115 runs. Switch hitting cleanup hitter, Joe Torre's lineup. Bats in front of Tino Martinez, who waits for a 1-2 pitch from Ramon Martinez. Delivery was up. Still 1-2. Darryl Strawberry waits to hit next. Tino Martinez into right field. Nixon back at the wall. It is gone. Martinez puts the Yankees out in front by 1.
repetition is not good. The same pitch following another. Tino Martinez fouling that pitch back before the home run with a good cut. And Martinez tried to come right back in there. Yankees are on the board. Here's the pitch before the home run. Just missed it.
Here's the 1-0 to Strawberry. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And now the one he didn't miss.
And now the 1 ball, 1 strike pitch to Strawberry's up and in. 2-1. Had to feel good for Tino Martinez, who coming in 18 games in LCS play was 9 out of 67 with only 1 RBI, no home runs. Two balls, 2 strikes on Strawberry. Full count. Bernie Williams flying to right. Tino Martinez homered to right. And now the 3-2 to Strawberry. Struck him out looking over the outside corner with a changeup. Tino Martinez, who in this inning has found the short porch out in right. Here are his thoughts at taking shots out there here at Yankee Stadium.
I can't explain it. You know, it's. I think ever since I probably got here to Yankee Stadium with the short right field, you know, I just started working on that pitch a lot, up and in, and sometimes the ball off the plate, and I feel like I can catch up to it and hit it out of the park at times. So sometimes it works to my advantage where I hit it well, and sometimes it doesn't work well where I'm not swinging good, and I think I can hit it, and I don't. So I got to be patient and try to make sure it's a strike.
Now Leday pops it foul back toward the Red Sox dugout, now to play. There's the porch.
Friendly porch right there to left-handed hitters for years.
And you see the swing once again by Tino Martinez, cheating a little bit. That ball was a little bit up and out over the plate. Martinez reached out there and hooked it back to that short porch.
2 out, nobody on, nothing in 1 to count, and Leday takes a ball.
You could see Jason Varitek sitting inside, much like he was sitting inside to Bernie Williams last night when Rod Beck missed with that fastball inside. And Bernie Williams had the game winner.
Leday is jammed, strike 2. Rod Beck out of the Boston bullpen, at least for game 1, paired with Bernie Williams. Base is empty with 2 out. The 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
I was interested in John Smoltz remarks in the New York papers today, talking about Bobby Bonilla, his last strikeout in yesterday's game. He said, I was going to pitch him away. If he wants to hit a single, he can.
Pitching Leday away, and Leday strikes out for the 3rd strikeout of the night for Ramon Martinez. 1 run, 1 hit. This swing by Tino Martinez puts the Yankees on top in game 2, 1-0. Well, here's the combination so far tonight that has produced the only run, the home run by Tino Martinez on your right against Ramon Martinez on your left. Let's listen in to Chris Chambliss, hitting coach for the Yankees, on a scouting report for Ramon Martinez.
They clocked his fastball from 86 to 91, so he's changing speeds on his fastball.
Sometimes pitchers don't do that advertently. They do it inadvertently. And it's caused by the grip. If you grip it lightly, you throw it harder. If you grip it tighter, you don't throw it as hard.
Offerman, top of the order for the Red Sox here in the 5th inning. 1-0 Yankees. Valentin and Daubach will follow against David Cone, who's working very well. Just like you talked about in the scouting report, a lot of base runners. Likened it to the game of football. Nobody has crossed the goal line yet.
No, not yet.
The Red Sox have left runners on base in every inning of this ball game.
The 0-2 to Offerman. Trying to go the other way. Still 0-2. Just going to go play tonight. Just going to go play baseball. Jimmy Williams told us.
Got a lot of baseball players. They're going to go play baseball.
Offerman pops it up. Shallow left. This is a tough play for Jeter. Can't get there. And a leadoff base hit makes a nice play to hold Offerman to a leadoff single.
Nobody was home at first base. Otherwise, they would have had a play. Knobloch would have had a play as Tino Martinez was backing up the play. Sometimes if you're a catcher and you trail the runner down to first base, you'll be the guy at first when the base runner takes too wide a turn. Watch Offerman go too far. Wanted to stop, went too far, but Tino Martinez is backing up Chuck Knobloch. Offerman a little upset with himself that he didn't try to go to second.
Well, he's trying now. A swing and a miss by Valentin. Offerman is safe. Stolen base for Jose Offerman. And he's at second with nobody out, carrying the tying run.
Great jump over at first base, and he picked a slow breaking ball to run on. Always the toughest pitch for a catcher to throw. And the throw down to Chuck Knobloch was a little bit on the shortstop side of second base, giving Offerman a clear path into the bag. Ooh. It appeared that Offerman may have had that right foot up in the air when the tag was made.
Girardi upset. Replay would show why. Looked like he was out. He's at second with nobody out. Valentin out in front. Now behind to the count 0-2. That's during the regular season for Offerman. 18 steals. Just got his first of this postseason.
18 stolen bases. 12 times he was caught stealing. The Red Sox don't use the straight steal that often. Generally, it's part of a hit and run when those runners get thrown out. That's why you see that very poor success rate for Jose Offerman, a man that does have very good base stealing speed.
67 stolen bases for the Red Sox, last in the American League.
0-2 the count on Valentin. A save by Girardi on ball one. Runners in scoring position. 0 for 6. They've left 6 runners on. They haven't scored in the last 12 innings, which is surprising considering the Red Sox had scored 44 runs in the final 3 games of that division series. Got out of the gate quickly here last night with 3 runs in the first 2 innings. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Valentin.
Interesting battle right here with Dahlbeck on deck. Valentin desperately trying to at least get Offerman to third, and Cone trying for the strikeout.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Valentin wouldn't chase. It was 0-2. It's now 3-2. If Valentin wants to go the opposite way, Knobloch is cheating towards second base. There's a lot of room on the right side of the infield.
And David Cone with pretty much a steady diet of breaking balls away to Valentin, which figures to be a good pitch to guide that direction.
3-2 pitch. Looked like he was trying to go to right. He fouled it back, still full. A leadoff bloop single by Offerman. Stealing on the first pitch to Valentin. He is at second with nobody out. Tying run here in the 5th inning. Big strikeout for David Cone. Hang another sock. That's number 6 on the night for the right-hander.
It looked like David Cone took a little bit off of that breaking ball, got Valentin well out in front. Big strikeout for David Cone.
Again, a lot of times that tighter grip on the breaking ball or the fastball determines the speed of the pitch. A lot of pitchers don't throw that breaking ball intentionally slow. They try to throw the same one, but by gripping it tighter, it becomes slower.
Here is Dahlbach. And there's strike one. You see teams during batting practice play a game. Get them on, get them over, get them in. The Red Sox are doing none of that in this game, too. They're getting them on. This last case, Valentin not able to get him over, and nobody's been able to get anybody in. No balls, one strike on Dahlbach. 1-1. Just after 10 o'clock here at Yankee Stadium. Joe Buck, Bob Brentley, and Tim McCarver with you, and the Red Sox trailing 1-0. Trailing this game 2-1-0. Fifth inning. A matchup tonight of two veteran right-handers, David Cone and Ramon Martinez. Both are pitching well. Tying run in scoring position, and Dahlbach strike two.
David Cone is not throwing particularly hard tonight, but he's throwing so many off-speed breaking balls and splitters that when he does come with that fastball up high in the zone, the Red Sox hitters are not able to get on it.
Offerman starts and stops on ball two. That's high to Dahlbach. Dahlbach pops it up. Should be the second out as Jeter waits for it. Two gone. And now with first base open, a runner at second, two out. At the very least, Cone can be careful with Nomar Garciaparra, which he told us earlier he would do coming into this game.
He has struck out Troy O'Leary twice tonight. Once called, once swinging.
Both times with two runners on.
Eight straight breaking balls from David Cone to Nomar Garciaparra. Nomar has walked and singled. Singled on a hanger his last time up on the first pitch.
Garciaparra can tie it with a hit. Takes a ball. It doesn't figure to be much over the heart of the plate to Garciaparra. As Cone makes a mistake. The 1-0. In for strike one. Tying run at second, two out. Strike two on Garciaparra.
That was a nasty splitter to Nomar. That ball really dropping out. I think that's the best splitter he's thrown all night.
And these Red Sox, who are 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position tonight, 0 for 12 in this series, ask for a hit from Garciaparra down the left field line. That ball is gone. Nomar Garciaparra, a two-run home run, and the Red Sox take a 2-1 fifth inning lead.
When you drop down on a right-handed hitter and you're a right-handed pitcher, the intention is to get the right-hander to bail and to get the pitch outside. And if you don't get it outside and he doesn't bail, bad things can happen. Bad things just happened to the Yankees.
So not careful enough with Garciaparra at the plate. A mistake from David Cone is hit a long way by Garciaparra. That is his 3rd home run of this postseason. And now Troy O'Leary, with 2 out, nobody on, 2 runs home, takes strike 1.
Middle of the plate. That was a spinner, not a slider.
And Cone with the drop down, and dropped down to low 3/4, almost sidearm on that breaking ball, and made it much, much flatter.
O'Leary rockets one foul into right. Troy O'Leary at the plate. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Set up here at 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. In the first inning, this from O'Leary, tailing pitch for strike 3. And then Cone got him swinging to end the 3rd. And now O'Leary grounds one under the glove of Knobloch into right for a 2-out base hit.
It looked like that ball did go underneath the glove of Chuck Knobloch. A very late break on that ball. He was late getting the glove down to the ground. That ball scoots through into right field.
Third hit of the inning, and now Mike Stanley bats with 1 on, 2 out. Tino Martinez, a home run to put the Yankees out in front of the 4th. Nomar Garciaparra, a home run here in the 5th inning to put Boston out in front for the first time tonight. Stanley takes a strike. Check on O'Leary, who does not do much running, stole only 1 base the entire regular season. Strike 2 on Stanley.
You can see how Cone, when he stays on top of the slider, gets that downward movement going away from the right-hander. When you drop down, you get under the slider. See the bite down to Mike Stanley? That ball didn't bite to Nomar Garciaparra until it was about 380 from home.
In the dirt, ball 1 to Stanley.
My opinion, the slider is the most dangerous pitch in baseball for the long ball. It has a tendency to just spin and stay on that even plane. It's a very easy pitch to hit a long way.
The 1-2. That gets away from Girardi, and down to second is O'Leary.
And there are times that slider will even back up. You hear pitchers talking about a slider backing up. See this one off the plate outside. Girardi just a little tardy getting over there. It's ruled a pass ball on Joe Girardi. And that backup slider is a nasty pitch to hit. It's got the rotation that's supposed to go down and away from a right-handed hitter, and it'll hold its plane and many times jam the right-handed hitters.
Now Stanley strikes out. And that's 7 strikeouts for David Cone, but damage done for the Red Sox in the top of the 5th. A hit by Offerman with 2 out. That from Nomar Garciaparra, the hitting hero for the Red Sox all season. Halfway through game 2, 2-1 Boston. And so now Brocious, Girardi, and Knobloch will step in for the Yankees here in the 5th inning. 2-1 Boston now, their first lead of the night. And a changeup from Martinez, strike 1. Martinez got Brocious on a comebacker his first time up. He's 1-1 here. 1-1 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 Now strike two.
Martinez up to 79 pitches. His tops this year were the 100 pitches that he threw in Game 3 of that division series. Working his way through the 8, 9, and 1 hitter here in the Yankees order.
2-2 on Brocious.
No sign of activity yet in that Red Sox bullpen. Some bodies starting to stir around, get loose a little bit down there.
Like a campsite early in the morning.
Activity wouldn't be bad for a little campfire out there tonight on a cold night as Brocious fouls it back. Brocious 3 out of 5 in this series so far, waiting. Another one out of play. This series will shift to Fenway Park in Boston after a travel day tomorrow. Everybody will pick up stakes here in New York and move to Boston. Game 3 late Saturday afternoon. Pedro Martinez and Roger Clemens. Brocious is gone, and after letting the bat go, ducking, hoping everybody's all right, and they are. 1 away, and that's 3 consecutive strikeouts now for Ramon Martinez. 4 on the night. This week on the Fox NFL Sunday pregame show, Terry Bradshaw heads to Chicago, where the upstart Bears are making some noise in the NFC Central after they just beat the Vikings. Are the Bears back? Find out on the pregame show as the guys bring you the latest from around the NFL. Right up to kickoff. Coverage begins noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific here on Fox. Time called by Girardi. And Brocious is going to let that fan. I would imagine whoever that bat hit, keep the bat.
Didn't do him any good. He struck out. He might as well let him have it.
Unless that's the same one he went 3 for 4 last night with.
Yeah, right.
I can promise you one thing. There's one guy on this field who wouldn't let that happen, and that's Garciaparra. One of the most superstitious guys in sports. If he has had success with something, he sticks with it. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, nobody on, and that's strike 1 on Girardi. Knoblauch on deck. Little different look tonight for the Red Sox bullpen. Rich Garces, who threw 2 shutout innings, perfect innings last night, is unavailable because of a pulled muscle underneath his right armpit. He's a right-handed pitcher. Jimmy Williams with an off day tomorrow doesn't want to use him tonight. 3 balls and a strike on Girardi. Girardi hit 2 home runs during the regular season, and he rips this one through the left side for a 1-out base hit. Tying run is on for the Yankees here in the 5th.
Joe Girardi gets a pitch pretty much over the heart of the plate. You see Varitek reaching back toward the middle of the plate. He had set up on the outside corner, and Girardi grounds it sharply through that left side.
One of those just don't walking fastballs. Count 3-1 right down the pipe. Make him hit his way on, and Joe did.
That's a big hit from a number 9 hitter in this Yankee lineup to bridge the gap, get back to the top of the order. And here's Knoblauch, 1 on, 1 out. And there's ball 1 from Ramon Martinez. Knoblauch now, and Jeter on deck.
Joe Torre certainly knows this. Sometimes if you put a hit and run on, when a guy's dipping that back shoulder, he doesn't try to swing too hard, just tries to make contact. Very helpful at times.
Knobloch off the end of the bat into left field for O'Leary. 2 out, and back to first is Girardi. Knobloch checking to see if he broke his bat as he got it toward the end, and now this inning is left up to Jeter. Runner at first, 2 down. I guess that answers that. We come in talking about this rivalry, Yankees-Red Sox, and a friendly rivalry within that rivalry is of 2 of the game's best shortstops. Garciaparra, who hit a 2-run home run in the top of this 5th inning. A similar situation watching Jeter, who's 1 out of 2 tonight. That's foul. How about a comparison of the 2? Garciaparra, a .322 career hitter. Jeter, 5th all-time on the Yankee list with a .318 average. And in the postseason, just about dead even.
Both outstanding defensive shortstops, both outstanding base runners. A lot of similarities between these 2 young superstars.
And now some debris. Something fell out down in the left field corner, and the ball boy out to retrieve it. And that's what the delay is all about. And Jeter will wait for an 0-1 pitch. Ramon Martinez trying to get through 5 innings here in game 2. Still no action for the Red Sox in their bullpen. This series so far, she's been to the plate 6 times. Garciaparra 2 hits, 1 of them left the park. For the shortstop, Garciaparra fitting. Jeter hits it to Nomar, and the inning is over on the force out at second. Through 5 innings in game 2 of this American League Championship Series. Yankees up by a game. Red Sox lead by a run. Hard hit to the right side. Nice pickup by Knobloch. 1 away. Leadoff man is gone. First time Varitek has been retired. And as we all look ahead to game 3 in the middle of a tight game 2 after an extra inning affair in game 1, look at the starters for game 3 at Fenway Park. Roger Clemens, 5-time Cy Young Award winner. He has won 2 since leaving the Red Sox while with Toronto. And Pedro Martinez, who had a dominating game on September 10th here against the Yankees. 17 strikeouts. Only 1 hit in a victory, and the 1 hit was a home run by Chili Davis. That was it. And they will hook up in the late afternoon at Fenway. 1 ball, 1 strike on Darren Lewis.
Talked about those 2 gentlemen pitching out of the shadows in that late afternoon game at Fenway, and joked about the hitters are all hoping for overcast. They may get their wish. Possibility of some cloud cover this weekend in Boston would definitely work in the hitters' favor.
Lewis pops it up into right. Easy for O'Neill. Darren Lewis is 0 for 3. So O'Neill makes the play. Joe Torre certainly could have juggled his rotation in a different way so as not to match up Clemens against Pedro Martinez. He didn't duck away from it. Here are his thoughts on the game 3 pitching matchup.
Roger Clemens and Pedro Martinez at Fenway Park. It's worth the price of admission. There's no question, and not too many people are going to be able to get into that ballpark. So I think there'll be a lot of people watching here on Fox. It's going to be really special.
Price of admission, huh, Joe? Well, a cardiologist yesterday for his son paid $12,100 for 4 tickets.
$12,000 for 4 tickets to see game 3 of the ALCS.
$3,025 a ticket. A cardiologist in Boston They ran the story today in the Boston Globe. It's a lot of money to see Pedro. Pedro, you're making your money.
1 ball now strikes, and now 1 ball 1 strike.
You draw men like that. Roger Clemens, Pedro Martinez on Saturday. Man.
That price, the $12,100, includes a soft drink of his choice.
No, it doesn't.
2 balls and a strike for that kind of money. Ken Griffey Jr. could buy another pair of sunglasses. $12,000 sunglasses worn by Ken Griffey Jr. in the field. That's what he wears on his face. Bob, did you know that? We did a game here of $12,000 sunglasses.
Who makes them? Nassau?
Tiffany.
Those are not them. That's a slight tint. The 3 ball 1 strike pitch, and Nixon takes strike 2, full count. Offerman on deck. Nixon is 0 for 2. He's fly to right, fly to center. And the 3-2 from Cone. Nixon breaks his bat and flies it into the right field corner. O'Neill over to get it, inning over. And the Red Sox go in order. That is the first time they've gone 1-2-3 all night. Bottom of the 6th inning. Heart of the order for the Yankees. Boston up 2-1. Bottom of the 6th inning, heart of the order for the Yankees, and this crowd senses that. O'Neill, Williams, and Tino Martinez, who's homered tonight. Boston up 2-1. Tomorrow it's Game 3, the National League Championship Series on NBC. Braves and the Mets, with the Braves up 2-0. And then on Saturday at 4 Eastern, Game 3 of this series back at Fenway, the Yankees and Red Sox. Clemens and Martinez. Ramon Martinez back to work, and he has Paul O'Neill out in front. A pop up into right, and Offerman waits for it and has it 1 away.
Earlier we talked about Jason Varitek and how he set up with Rod Beck on the mound last night. Varitek setting up inside, and watch where the pitch is to Bernie Williams on contact. Well, tonight with Tino Martinez, his last at bat, sets up inside. Watch where the pitch is. So you have a pitch here, a game winner here, and a solo home run by Tino Martinez. 2 different pitches, same result.
And they will both bat here in the 6th inning for the Yankees, down by a run. Bernie Williams takes a ball. Williams hitless on the night. He's flied to right twice. Ramon Martinez approaching 100 pitches on the night. Changeup. 1 ball 1 strike.
Really took a lot off of this changeup. 65 miles an hour on the radar gun. That's about as far out in front of a pitch as we've seen any hitter in this ball game.
Pitch number 96 on the night coming up. Williams can't hit it. 1 ball 2 strikes. So 4 away from that century mark for Ramon Martinez, which he hit Game 3 of the division series. Two and 2 to Bernie Williams.
The pitch count itself is not always the most telling factor. The hitters will let the manager know if that pitcher's losing it out there on the mound. Ramon Martinez still seems to be making quality pitches.
Bernie Williams is gone, and that's 5 strikeouts for Ramon Martinez. And the only Yankee to dent home plate tonight, Tino Martinez, walks in. Here's his home run with audio of hitting coach Chris Chambliss.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Chris Chambliss, who knows something about hitting big postseason home runs into right.
How about that? He hit an inside fastball out of the ballpark. He came right back with an inside fastball. Got to be the last thing on Tino Martinez's mind.
Surprised him with it. Now the 0-1.
That'll be it, though. I think.
Talking about Chris Chambliss, who hit that game-winning home run, Game 5 of the 1976 ALCS. Did that against Kansas City. Change up for strike 2 on Martinez. Keith Olbermann talking about it in the pregame show 23 years ago today. Chris Chambliss did it against Mark Littell of Kansas City. The first Yankee pennant in 12 years.
George Brett had tied that game with a 3-run home run off Grant Jackson in the 8th inning. George, one of 3 modern-day inductees into the Hall of Fame this year. What a player.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Tino Martinez.
For Chris Chambliss, the easy part was hitting the home run. The hard part was getting around the bases.
That's right.
The fans poured out of the stands. I don't know if he ever did touch home plate.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Martinez with 2 out, nobody on, takes ball 3. If Ramon Martinez is looking over his shoulder toward the Boston bullpen, there's no action. Full count, the pitch to Tino. Just outside for ball 4. This is 23-year-old tape we're about to show you. We talk about it, now we show it. Mark Littell, the right-hander, Game 5, 1976 ALCS. And Bob, here's the treacherous trip around the bases.
One of the rougher home run trots in the history of Major League Baseball.
And now Darryl Strawberry with a shift on in the infield. The go-ahead run at the plate. Out in front, strike 1. 2 former Dodgers hooking up. Strawberry, who hit a home run in the clinching game of the division series in Texas.
Strawberry loves the ball down.
Popped up on the infield. Valentin a long run to get there. So far over with a shift, and he's there finally to make the catch. And the Yankees get a walk, strand their 5th of the night. We're through 6 innings here in Game 2. Red Sox maintain their 1-run lead. Back after this from your local Fox station. Well, the Red Sox will have the top of the order here in the 7th inning. Getting late in Game 2. Still no action, by the way, for the Red Sox out in their bullpen as Offerman, Valentin, and Dahlbach will bat against David Cone. Offerman takes the ball. We talk so much about the curse of the Bambino, and that will be obviously the focus when this series shifts back to Boston for the weekend. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Dan Shaughnessy, who is the columnist for the Boston Globe, and just down to our right, has written a book called The Curse of the Bambino. There he is. Hi, Dan. Right there. His book is in its 11th printing, and it is required reading for high schoolers in the Boston area. So while I grew up having to read Catcher in the Rye, Scarlet Letter, that wasn't on our list in St. Louis, but it is up in Boston. And talk about a piece of baseball lore that is just ingrained from the beginning to New Englanders. That is the case, and that's the book, Curse of the Bambino. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Cone to Offerman. The monument, George Herman Ruth. 7 Ruths, 7 Bambinos for Cone put up tonight. That's to note the number of strikeouts. Before the Ruth sale, the Yankees, no pennants, no championships. 5 for Boston. Since, none for the Red Sox since 1918. 24 for the Yankees. Offerman out in front off balance in the first out here in the 7th inning. Now 2 out of 4.
The World Series started in 1901. There were 2 years in which it was not played. 1904 and 1994. The Yankees, with almost a quarter of the rings given, 24 World Championships.
Babe Ruth, who was sold to the Yankees for the 1920 season, is the name associated to the curse of the Bambino, but there's a little more to just Ruth coming here to the Yankees from Boston. And if we have time, we will get to it at some point in this series. We will. Right now, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on. Valentin at the plate here in the 7th inning. Valentin 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts, a walk. Checked his swing and the count, 2 balls and a strike. David Cone working here in the 7th inning. Up over 100 pitches for the night. Works it home on 2-1 and misses. 3 balls and a strike. Valentin 1 for 7 in this series, draws his 2nd walk of the evening. And with action in the bullpen for the Yankees, you wonder how much longer they will stick with David Cone.
Well, fatigue starts to set in for David Cone, given the fact he's throwing so many breaking balls. That's a pitch that you're most likely to make a mistake with as you start to tire later in the ball game.
May remember the last 3 pitches to Dahlback, his last at bat, all fastballs.
Dahlback flailed at that one.
David Cone has Dahlback in that pendulum, going forward on the splitter and then staying back on the fastball. We'll have a chance to explain that a little further on Saturday with Pedro Martinez, who does that as well as anybody.
1 on, 1 out, and 2 quick strikes on Dahlback. Dahlback, who really struggled in the final month of the season, hit only 173 for the Red Sox. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs, struck out 21 times to lead Boston. He's only 5 out of 24 in this postseason. 91-mile-per-hour fastball, still 0-2.
You could see what Cone and Joe Girardi were doing there. 2 splitters in the dirt and then the high fastball. By doing that and taking that approach, you change the eye level of the hitter. That head bobbing up and down.
Got him looking, and strikeout number 8 for David Cone tonight.
Here are the first 7 strikeouts by David Cone in this ball game. Mixture of tailing fastballs and breaking balls, split fingers. Really throwing the whole bag at the Red Sox in this ball game tonight. He's used his fastball sparingly, and for the most part, he's been able to keep it out of the center of the plate. Backdoor slider that time from David Cone, just off the outside corner, breaking it over the outside edge.
And now Garciaparra, who homered his last time up. He's been on 3 times tonight with a walk, a single, and a home run. Bats with a runner at first and 2 down. strike 2. One bad pitch from Cone back in the 5th inning. A slider that didn't slide. This one had good downward action, and Garciaparra set up at 0-2. Wouldn't chase it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Red Sox lead it 2-1 here in the 7th inning. 1 on, 2 out. And that's yanked foul.
You notice with Derek Jeter, the batter, Red Sox pitchers continue to pound him inside, one pitch after another. And then with Nomar Garciaparra, just the opposite. Yankee pitchers would rather bite the head off a rattlesnake than come inside intentionally to Garciaparra.
2-2.
Garciaparra is one tough hitter to put away once you get to 2 strikes. He only struck out 39 times all season in 532 at bats.
Second toughest to strike out in the American League.
The 2-2. Right on cue. The strikeout number 9 on the night for David Cone. Time to stretch for the fans here in the Bronx. Bottom part of the order coming up for the Yankees, trailing by 1. He's allowed only the 1 run, a home run by Tino Martinez in the 4th inning. And a total of 5 hits.
You know, we speculated that perhaps this would be a ball game that both teams would have to get into their bullpen perhaps early in the ball game, but both starting pitchers have been outstanding up to this point.
Ricky Leday is first up for the Yankees. 1 out of 2 tonight. Still loosening up, trying to get warm out of the bullpen. Still looks like morning at a campsite out there.
Coffee's on.
Ricky Leday first in for the Yankees. And a ball from Ramon Martinez. 107 pitches on the night for Ramon Martinez. His longest effort pinch count wise this season, as he misses with ball 2, 2-0. 9 strikeouts for Cone, 128 pitches. Second highest total of the season for David Cone tonight. A little surprised that there's nobody at least throwing in the Red Sox bullpen.
That's a very, very good point, Joe. I am too. At least soft tossing.
Three balls, no strikes on Leday. 3-1.
Again on cue. Somebody will be up right now.
The 3-1. Full count.
Oh boy, you got to wonder what Ricky Leday's thinking about. I mean, he's taken all the way on a 3-1 pitch. He jerks one out of here. The game's tied. Looked like he was taking all the way then.
From 3-0 to 3-2. Laying off a high changeup and a leadoff walk. Tying run is on for the Yankees. We listen into Joe Kerrigan, his thoughts before the game on the way the Red Sox will use their bullpen tonight.
Okay, we'll have two guys available early tonight. That's Bryce Flory and Pat Rapp. Probably, if anything happens before the 5th inning, you'll probably see either one of those guys. We'll piece the middle of the game together, if you will, maybe with Gordon, maybe with Cormier. And there's a possibility we could close the game out tonight with either Beck or maybe one time up and maybe 15 pitches or less for Derek Lowe.
1 on, nobody out, and Brochus showing bunt, takes a strike. Activity in Tom Gordon. A one-time closer for these Red Sox before developing a tear in his pitching elbow, getting loose on this cold night. And the bunt is perfect. Martinez, the out at first, and the tying run to second with one away.
Looked like Ramon Martinez very nearly lost his footing attempting to field this sacrifice bunt. Comes charging off the mound, slipped slightly right at the end of the play. He's able to stay with it. That very mechanical throw onto first base. You see the slight slip, the wet grass. Of course, it rained the majority of the ball game last night, at least the latter part of the ball game last night. The field's still very wet.
Joe Kerrigan out there buying time for Gordon to get ready. And we remind you to look for the Gillette $1 million Strike Zone Challenge in Game 3 on Saturday of the American League Championship Series here on Fox. That'll be at Fenway.
In almost every other similar situation this year, Joe Torre has pinch hit for Joe Girardi in a situation like this.
I was about to ask before we talked about Gillette if anybody else was surprised that they bunted with Brocious with Girardi coming up.
I think Joe's thinking right here is that Girardi's 2 for 2, a single to right center and a single to left. The only Yankee to have 2 hits.
A ball up and away to Girardi. Block next. 2 longtime National Leaguers hooking up here. Ramon Martinez, Joe Girardi. A changeup, 1 ball, 1 strike.
If Torre went to a pinch hitter, it would be Jorge Posada.
Posada sitting and watching. Girardi with a chance to tie it with a hit.
Mentioned Girardi with a history against Ramon Martinez in the National League. Joe was 9 for 35, a .257 batting average against Ramon Martinez in their days in the National League.
Runner at second, 1 out. 2-1 Red Sox, and Girardi pops it up. Offerman makes the play, 2 down. So Girardi is retired for the first time tonight. It comes at an important time for Ramon Martinez, and now this inning with a runner at second, 2 out, is up to Knobloch. In case you're wondering, as we talk about who's on the bench for the Yankees and possible pinch hitters, he has, Joe Torre has 2 switch hitters, Chili Davis, Jorge Posada. The right-handers, Bellinger, Curtis, Spencer, and Soho. Sticking with Girardi, he popped up. Now it's Knobloch. And a ball from Martinez, still hitting 89 on the radar gun. Younger brother Pedro gets the ball in Game 3. Runner at second, 2 out, and Knobloch takes strike 1. Boy, it would be something if Ramon Martinez could get through 7 innings for the Red Sox, and in this what would appear to be final inning of work, pitch around a leadoff walk in a 1-run game. That man, Leday, is the runner at second, and there's a shot into the corner. He won't get around the walk. Scoring easily is Leday. It's a 2-2 game here in the 7th.
The Yankees once again patient as cobras and striking like 1-2.
That's the last pitch of the night. 120 pitches this evening for Ramon Martinez. Gave the Red Sox all he had. But after this, here in the 7th, it's a 2-2 game. Two veteran right-handers and two strong starts here in Game 2 of the ALCS. Ramon Martinez on the left is finished. Couldn't go through 7 full innings like Cone could. And it was Chuck Knobloch who got him with a 2-out RBI double to tie it. Now it's Tom Gordon pitching. Go-ahead run is Knobloch at second with 2 out, and Derek Jeter at the plate. Ball 1.
You see the numbers on Tom Gordon this season. 16 leadoff batters faced in an abbreviated season for Gordon. He retired 11 of them.
And a visit from Veritek to get the sign straight.
Baseball being a game of many little things, keep in mind that the Yankees have tied the game the last 2 nights in the 7th inning, and they've done it with a sacrifice to get the runner in the scoring position. Brocious last night, they hit by Jeter, and then Ricky Leday tonight, and they hit by Knobloch.
The numbers for Jeter this postseason: 1 RBI, a big average, and he bats with a go-ahead run at second, 2 out. Dr. Charles and Dorothy Jeter watching. Proud parents of Derek. Trying to excite this Yankee Stadium crowd yet again. 2-0 from Gordon. I don't think it would break anybody's heart on the Red Sox side if Jeter didn't get much to hit here, with O'Neill struggling, waiting on deck.
And Real Cormier warming in the bullpen.
Ball 3, 3-0.
For that reason, if you're Joe Torre, you give Derek Jeter the hit sign here.
Three balls, 1 strike.
Good velocity on that Tom Gordon fastball, but very little movement. It's a very straight fastball.
Knobloch stealing third on strike 2 to Jeter. And the go-ahead run is 90 feet away.
Knobloch with that walking lead. His momentum carried him right on into third base. Valentin playing very deep at third. No chance to throw out Knobloch.
An important steal maybe with the speed of Jeter at the plate on a ball hit on the infield. 3-2. A walk to Jeter will leave it up to O'Neill.
Or, Joe, an important steal on a ball that almost got by Veritek. Jason Veritek just saved the Yankees going ahead in this ball game on a fine block of the first curveball by Tom Gordon. And now Jimmy Williams, in all probability, will bring in the left-hander to face Paul O'Neill.
Nice job by Veritek. Did have 25 pass balls on the season, but as we mentioned last night, 20 of those came catching the knuckleballer, Tim Wakefield.
So the walk to Jeter, that's it for Gordon. The one lefty in the bullpen, Cormier, coming in to face Paul O'Neill. Well, this is the spot Jimmy Williams picks to use his one left-hander out of the Red Sox bullpen.
Get a look at Cormier's numbers on the season. There's a reason he brings in the left-hander to face Paul O'Neill. Drastic difference in numbers for Paul O'Neill versus right-handed pitching versus left-handed pitching. Here you see the numbers, only a 190 batting average with 3 homers against the left-handed pitchers, considerably better against the righties.
And that's when healthy. First and third, 2 out. And And a strike hits the outside corner from Cormier.
For that reason, you do have runners on the corners who can run. Knobloch and Jeter very fast, the fastest of the Yankees, along with Williams and Ledet. So if O'Neill gets 2 strikes on him, maybe Joe Torre will send Derek Jeter. And again, try and draw a throw from Varitek. They did it last night, no throw.
There is strike number 2 on Paul O'Neill. So we'll keep an eye on Jeter over at first. And if they'll give you second base, might as well take it.
Sure.
A 2-2 game here in the 7th inning. Last night it was Bernie Williams who was in the spot that Jeter is in over at first. He was running with O'Neill at the plate facing Cormier, and Cormier struck out O'Neill after they let Williams take second. See if Jeter runs here. Another save by Varitek. He keeps it a 2-2 game.
You're right. He kept it and keeps it. A tie ball game.
Go-ahead run is Knobloch over at third with Jeter on at first. 2 out. 7th inning, a 2-2 tie. Game 2. And O'Neill a flare to left. Base hit Paul O'Neill. 3-2 New York.
Broken rib.
So Knobloch, such a big part of this 7th inning with a 2-out RBI double to tie it, scores the go-ahead run. And now this crowd chanting Bernie's name as he bats with runners at the corners, 2 down. It takes a strike from Cormier. You can charge that run to Ramon Martinez, who is now on the hook. 6 2/3 innings, 3 runs, 6 hits. Jeter and O'Neill aboard for Bernie Williams. One ball, one strike. Real Cormier, third pitcher of this inning for the Red Sox. Ball's behind, 2-1.
Well, even though Paul O'Neill is not a threat to run at first base and doesn't have a very big lead, I wouldn't be surprised to see Cormier attempt a couple of pickoff throws over there. If you can get out of an inning without delivering a pitch to the plate, that would definitely be to Cormier's advantage.
The 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Williams. Jimmy Williams stuck with his starter, Ramon Martinez. After the Yankees tied it, Gordon came on, now Cormier. Yankees up by a run, 7th inning, game 2. The 2-2 to Williams. Full count, and now O'Neill, the runner at first, gets a head start. Runner goes, and Williams pops it up right side. Slicing toward the seats, Nixon out of room.
Nixon giving it a run over there on that right field corner. Tries to climb up into the stands, almost gets hit with the rebound as that ball came back out of the stands.
At least he's upright this time going into that wall. Last night he was head first.
And the count still full on Williams, trying to add to the Yankee 3-2 7th inning lead. That'll load him up. Rod Beck getting loose in the bullpen, but with the left-handed hitting Tino Martinez coming up, you would expect the Red Sox to stay with Real Cormier. Joe Kerrigan out at least to talk.
He talks first to his catcher Jason Varitek before going on to the mound to include Real Cormier in the conversation.
Jimmy Williams had enough confidence in Ramon Martinez and had a thin enough bullpen here tonight to extend Ramon Martinez for 120 pitches. That will be a topic of discussion, you can bet, after this game 2, no matter what the outcome. Ramon Martinez stretched on a cold night. His 120th pitch of the evening was a 2-out RBI double hit by Chuck Knobloch, which tied it. After a walk to Jeter, a pitching change, O'Neill a single to put the Yankees out in front. A walk to Bernie Williams, and the bases are loaded for Tino Martinez. And a strike from Real Cormier. Breaking ball had him frozen 0-2.
Following the fastball, a good breaking ball. Late break from Cormier. You saw David Cohn in the dugout. In all probability, he is gone for the night. He will turn it over to the bullpen, one would think.
The little used Yankee bullpen in this postseason. The 0-2. Hit, but right at Stanley. And the inning will come to a close. A 2-run inning for the Yankees, who are out in front 3-2. The temperature may be dropping in New York, but it's starting to heat up here at Yankee Stadium. Yankees back out in front. Knobloch a big inning. O'Neill the hit to put the Yankees out in front. 3-2 New York. And the swing music and the gap pads, they love that stuff. You know that?
That's what the Yankees had, swing music in the 7th.
They did.
They did.
They absolutely did.
Good effort by Ramon Martinez for the Red Sox here tonight, but not enough as the Yankees with, and Tim, you've talked about it before, that quiet, cool demeanor, that confidence that just seeps through that entire dugout. And even down by a run in the 7th inning, you know, at no time did they think they weren't going to take the lead, or do they ever think they're not going to win a postseason game.
They are a very confident ball club. Not arrogant, but cocky.
They've won 11 straight in the postseason. The Red Sox on the other side have lost 9 consecutive LCS games. That's a record. 2 balls, no strikes from the new pitcher, left-hander Mike Stanton, facing O'Leary. With Stanley and Veritek to follow, Cone is finished. 7 innings, 2 runs, 7 hits, 3 walks, 9 strikeouts. O'Leary pounds one into deep right center field. At the track at the wall, it's off the wall, and O'Leary will cruise into second with a double. Good start to this 8th inning for the Red Sox. O'Leary now 2 out of 4.
And that is all from Mike Stanton. Another key hit by Troy O'Leary.
Well, guys, we talked about this at the top of the program, talking about the Yankee bullpen, and here's Stanton, who had not made an appearance since the end of the regular season, Bob, and he lasts for 3 pitches.
Falls behind the hitter immediately, gives O'Leary a good pitch to hit, and he hammers it to the gap in right center field.
Hit high off the wall, 385 feet away, and a pitching change here in the 8th. I don't think it's a stretch to say that both O'Neill and Williams thought the ball O'Leary hit was gone. It nearly left. Sounds of the game, third base coach Wendell Kim had this to say to Troy after O'Leary got to second.
Nice safe lead. Good center lead. Hey, come on to your left. Deep fly ball, you tag it.
All right, before you heard those instructions from Wendell Kim, he told Troy O'Leary just missed right at the top of the fence. You can see just a matter of inches at that 385 mark for being a home run.
We've had Troy O'Leary missed by inches. Jason Veritek in the 2nd inning hit a triple and missed by inches and didn't score. Another 2 feet. Veritek's is a home run. So is O'Leary's. And the Red Sox would have the lead.
Here is Jeff Nelson, the right-hander, to pitch to Stanley. Veritek will follow, then Darren Lewis. The Yankees used Mariano Rivera for 2 innings last night. So Torrey telling us before the game he will try to at all costs avoid working him more than 1 inning tonight, unless, he said, I panic. Unless I panic, you won't see him until the 9th inning. That's what Joe Torre told us before the game.
Well, that's the only way you would be able to tell if Joe Torre is panicking. If he warns you what he's going to do and then does it, because he shows no sign of panic.
Stanley takes a strike.
This is how close the home runs or near home runs were. O'Leary, Veritek, 6 innings apart. Man.
A look back at the tying run. O'Leary at second with nobody out. Here in the house that Ruth built, it becomes annoying and monotonous to continually talk about the curse, but some might think that with those balls that just did stay in the park as Stanley fouls it back and out of play. 2 quick strikes on Mike Stanley, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Alan Watson, Ramiro Mendoza getting loose for the Yankees.
One more look at how close Troy O'Leary came to the home run to tie it. Just a couple of inches. The same with Veritek on the right.
Nothing in 2, the count on Stanley. Tying run at second. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There is Jason Veritek. He waits on deck. The 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
4 sliders in a row from Jeff Nelson. Joe Torre and Mel Stottlemyre try to get Nelson to throw more fastballs. Of course, in this particular situation, Stanley a very, very good low fastball hitter. And Nelson has to keep the ball down to be effective.
Tying run at second. The 2-2 pitch hit Stanley, and down to first is the go-ahead run, and Stanley will get a visit from the trainer eventually once the trainer can catch up, and Jimmy Williams out.
You could see that reaction by Joe Girardi behind the plate. A lot of times that slider will take that right-hander out, and then you try to come in on him. He's looking for the slider and can't get out of the way.
Stanley diving in toward the plate with that front foot. That was very similar to the pitch that Nomar Garciaparra got hit with. See that tailing fastball runs up and in, and appeared to catch Stanley on that right wrist. Girardi very upset.
And Stanley, who is hit by the pitch, will exit. Probably would have left either way, as Buford will come in to run. And we go back to September 25th, and there is the injury suffered when Al Reyes, a right-hander from the Orioles, hit Nomar Garciaparra on the right wrist. He has felt the effects of that hit by pitch through this postseason, although he has homered in this game and has hit 3 home runs this postseason. Now Buford runs, and he is the go-ahead run at first with nobody out.
Very interesting situation right here. I don't think Jimmy Williams will bunt with Varitek with Lewis on deck, but he did. Varitek has grounded into 13 double plays on the year. I think the Yankees, if he does bunt, you're going to play it straight away. But Jason Varitek with a couple of hits tonight, a double and a triple. He also hit a ball hard to first.
Runners on at first and second with nobody out. We'll see if the Red Sox stay with a bunt. Varitek drops it down. The only play to first out there, and the runners up to second and third, 1 away. And Lewis will be called back to the dugout, and a pinch hitter will step in for the Red Sox.
Nice job by Jason Varitek. Squares around, keeps that bat out in front of home plate, deadens that ball off the end of the bat. Nelson only has one play, and that's to go across the diamond to first base.
The Yankees can counter this by bringing in the left-hander Alan Watson, who's warm in the bullpen. And then Jimmy Williams can elect to go to the right-hander.
Scott Hatteberg is going to come off the bench and bat. Bat for Darren Lewis, who missed an RBI opportunity his first time up. With a runner at third, 1 out, he popped up. He's 0 for 3 tonight, so he's gone. Hatteberg stands in. So now a decision here. First base open. And they will move Tino Martinez back at first. With runners at second and third, 1 out. Tying run is at third. Go ahead run at second for the Red Sox here in the 8th inning. Hatteberg takes ball 1. There's O'Leary, who started this inning with a double. Buford is running. He's down at second.
Joe changed his mind. Torrey didn't want to take him out the first pitch, but Alan Watson's ready. So he'll bring in the left-hander, and I would imagine Jimmy Williams will counter with Butch Husky.
Well, this bullpen has been begging for work, and they will get plenty of it here in the 8th inning alone. Runners at second and third, 1 out. A 1-run Yankee lead here in the 8th inning. Nelson is gone. Watson is in. The managerial wheels are spinning. Jimmy Williams with a decision to make over in the Red Sox dugout. Joe Torre with that seldom used bullpen in this postseason. See what's left on the bench. 3 right-handers. Hatteberg was at the plate. It appears he will be lifted for a pinch hitter. And we go back to what we showed you at the start of the night. Bob, talk about this bullpen and the Yankees finally getting some work for those guys.
Well, more work than I think either manager wanted for the bullpen tonight. It looked like the 2 starters were going to rest the bullpen for the majority of the evening, through the first 6 anyway, but See, the Red Sox 22 appearances out of the bullpen. The Yankees now 9.
And Alan Watson, who with the Yankees this season was 4-0 with a terrific ERA in 21 games. The Yankees will walk the pinch hitter for the pinch hitter, Lou Merloni. Grew up in Framingham, Massachusetts. Is a diehard Red Sox fan, and the Yankees will pitch to Butch Husky, who's in the on-deck circle.
Jimmy Williams wanted Joe Torre to pitch to Lou Merloni. That's why he had Merloni in front of Husky. But Joe Torre, by walking either one of them, is now going to wait until Husky's announced and bring in the right-hander. It looks like Ramiro Mendoza, a ground ball pitcher, is warming for the Yankees. If he doesn't announce Husky as the pinch hitter, then Trot Nixon, the left-handed hitter, has to hit against the left-handed pitcher. So from a percentage standpoint, Torre has him either way.
Butch Husky.
Bob Shepard with the announcement. Butch Husky is the pinch hitter, and we'll see if Joe Torre goes to Mendoza. If he does, it would leave him with only Arabu and Rivera in his bullpen. A smile from Alan Watson. You know, Joe Torre had something funny to say, like, great work. Watson came in, gave the intentional walk, and now it's Husky against Mendoza.
So,
well, another change while we were away here in the top of the 8th inning. With the Yankees out in front 3-2, the bases are loaded with 1 out. And the pinch hitter for the pinch hitter Hatteberg, Merloni, has just been pinch run for by Donnie Sadler. And the bench for Jimmy Williams is empty. Ramiro Mendoza comes on to pitch with the bases loaded, 1 away, to face Butch Husky. That's to third and foul. Husky was up there ready to wail.
The only move, the way I see it, that doesn't make sense in this inning by either manager is having Donnie Sadler run for Lou Merloni. Why not put Donnie Sadler up there to hit, knowing Torre's going to walk him, and then you save Lou Merloni? But now you are out of extra men.
Bases loaded for Boston with 1 out. Down by a run, and that's outside from Mendoza. So Watson makes his first appearance of this postseason, issues an intentional pass. Stanton makes his first appearance of this postseason, and Mendoza makes his first appearance of this postseason. Yankees lead 1-0, lead this game 3-2 here in the 8th inning. The 1-1, strike 2 on Husky.
Good change up that time from Mendoza. It's Husky out front on an off-balance swing.
Husky, a former New York Met, started this season with Seattle. The 1-2 pitch. There's foul outside third. I don't know where O'Leary's going. He's going back to the bag. Bases are loaded, Troy. You got to run.
And the other 2 runners, Buford at second base and Sadler from first, were off and moving when that pitch was grounded. As you said, O'Leary was headed back to the bag.
Yeah, evidently Troy's eyes were better than Sadler's or Buford's.
Husky with a chance to be a hero for the Red Sox here in the 8th inning. Boston down by a run. Bases loaded, 1 out. 2 gone. And it's up to Offerman.
Sinking fastball. He didn't get the ground ball he was looking for, but a key strikeout of Butch Husky.
And now Jose Offerman with the bases loaded, 2 down. Offerman, who signed a highly criticized contract over the offseason, 4 years, $26 million. He could step in and be a hero for the Red Sox. Bases loaded, 2 out, and a ball from Mendoza.
Hey, if you're the Red Sox, you couldn't have a better guy up there than perhaps Garciaparra with the bases loaded. Offerman with 5 hits in these 2 games, and he hit .389 during the divisional series. He is red hot with a bat, especially from the left side.
Mendoza trying to close down the top of the 8th. Strike 1. Bases loaded, 2 out. 3-2 Yankees, and strike 2 on Offerman. And now it's Mendoza who could be the hero here in the 8th inning, coming in out of the bullpen for New York. Wouldn't chase it. 2-2. Offerman into center field. Williams back to get it. Inning over. What a terrific performance by Ramiro Mendoza. Some emotion shown by Joe Torre. His bullpen does the job here in the 8th. The big Husky strikeout. Still 3-2 New York. For the Yankees. And take on Real Cormier. A number of changes defensively, and this is one of them. Out in center field, Damon Buford puts that away, and Chili Davis is gone, batting for Strawberry. That's just one of the many changes, with Sadler staying in the game, and Donnie's now in right field. Daubach stays in the game. He is at first base now, and he leaves his DH spot to play first base, and that means that the pitcher is in the lineup for the Red Sox and batting 9th in the spot last occupied by Butch Husky, who struck out for the second out in the top of this 8th inning. Nobody left for Jimmy Williams and the Red Sox. Over on his bench as Cormier hits the outside corner for a strike to Ricky Leday.
So it is conceivable, with nobody left to pinch hit, that if the Red Sox get to the 9th spot, not conceivable, it's a gut lock. The pitcher hits. Has to.
The number 2 spot will lead it off for the Red Sox in the 9th inning. That means Valentin, then Daubach, and then Garciaparra. Rivera getting loose. He was the winner in game 1 last night. He worked 2 scoreless innings. The Yankees won it in the 10th. Leday, strike 2. Brocious next. A 3-2 Yankee lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Trying to take the first 2 games of this series, and it will be talk of Ramiro Mendoza and the job he did coming in with the bases loaded in the top of this 8th inning. Leday is gone. 2 up, 2 down. Cormier trying to keep this a 1-run game going into the 9th inning.
Waving at the slider.
And we remind you that tomorrow night, game 3 over at Shea Stadium, the Braves and the Mets, with the Braves up 2-0. NBC at 8 o'clock. Bob Costas, Joe Morgan, Jim Gray, Craig Sager. And on Saturday afternoon, we will come your way from Fenway Park. 4 o'clock Eastern. For the Yankees and Red Sox game 3, Pedro Martinez against Roger Clemens. 2 out with the bases empty, and Brocious takes a strike from Cormier. 3-2 Yankees here in the 8th. One ball, one strike. The Red Sox, who tonight are 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position, are down to their final 3 outs. They will be trailing in the 9th inning by at least 1 run. The 1-1 to Brocious into center field. Buford waits, and a 1-2-3 inning for Cormier. That sets it up for the 9th inning. Sets it up for Rivera. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Red Sox, trailing 1-0, trailing this game 3-2. Mariano Rivera, who is automatic for the Yankees, takes over here in the 9th inning. And the Red Sox trying to change his fortunes. This postseason, 3 games, 2 saves, no runs scored against him in 5 innings pitched. Was the winner last night with 2 scoreless innings. And he takes his warm-up tosses while the Red Sox have the 2, 3, and 4 hitters waiting for Rivera. And we need to explain something on the part of the Boston Red Sox. Even if the Red Sox had players left on their bench, they lose the privilege of the DH.
That's right. Once you put the DH into a defensive position, as the Red Sox have done by putting Brian Daubach in at first base.
So if you want to consider the DH a privilege, that privilege is gone now, because Daubach, who started the game as the DH, is now in the field at first base. And you look at missed opportunities, 1 for 12. The Red Sox have stranded 12. They have missed opportunities from the first inning on. John Valentin will stand in. Then Daubach, then Garciaparra. Valentin 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts, a pair of walks. Red Sox down to their final 3 outs. Ball 1 from Rivera. Daubach, the first baseman, waits next. And then Garciaparra, who is homered tonight. 1 ball, 1 strike. We mentioned last night Rivera, who has not been scored upon in the postseason since Game 5 of the Division Series in '97. Looks at a slow roller. Girardi out from behind the plate. Good play, 1 out. And the leadoff man is retired for the Red Sox.
That is not a routine play by Joe Girardi. Normally, a catcher, if he has time, will try to pivot on that right foot. Girardi elects to face first base and throws a bullet to get Valentin easily. He knew, because Valentin could not run well with that bad knee, he had a lot of time.
Well, once again, we look back earlier in the ball game. The Red Sox very close on a couple of attempts for home run balls. Jason Varitek on the left over Paul O'Neill's head, 2 inches from the top of the wall. And then another ball by Troy O'Leary, a couple of inches from the top of the wall at the 385 mark.
And now Daubach with 1 out, nobody on, takes a ball. And why those are significant that they didn't leave the park is that Varitek, who tripled with 1 out in the second, never did score. And O'Leary, who led off the 8th inning with a double high off the wall, never scored. 2 balls, no strikes now on Daubach, who's 0 for 4 tonight. One out, bases empty. Daubach takes a high strike and does a double take to home plate umpire Dan Morrison. 2-1.
A cut fastball on the inside part of the plate from Mariano Rivera, appeared to be up above the belt.
And now a 2 ball 1 strike pitch coming to Daubach. into left field. Pretty well hit. 2 out. Leday puts it away, and the Red Sox down to their final out here in Game 2. And who should step to the plate for Boston? Nomar Garciaparra. Garciaparra tonight has walked, singled, hit a 2-out, 2-run home run for the only 2 runs tonight for Boston. Three-2 Yankees, Game 2, strike 1. Strike 2. The significance of winning the first 2 games of an LCS. 27 of the 30 teams to do it have advanced to the World Series. The Yankees 1 strike, 1 out away. Through the left side, and Garciaparra keeps it alive for the Red Sox. 3rd hit, 4th time he's been on base tonight. And now Troy O'Leary, who narrowly missed a home run to lead off in the 8th inning, stands in the go-ahead run at the plate.
Scott Brosius properly guarding the line. Even if he were playing a normal third base, doubtful that he would have gotten to that ball. Ball was scalded by Garciaparra.
Tying run is on with 2 out in the 9th inning. And a ball to Troy O'Leary. Both of his home runs, all 7 of his RBIs in the postseason, coming in Game 5 of the division series. 1 ball, 1 strike. Low, 2-1. The clock strikes midnight here at Yankee Stadium. 12 o'clock straight up. Broken back. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tying run at first, 2 out, 9th inning of Game 2. The 2-2. Do it again. Emptied his bench in the 8th inning. Joe Torre all but emptied his bullpen in the 8th inning. And now we play in the 9th. A 2-out hit by Garciaparra extends it. Troy O'Leary, a hero in the division series, waits for another 2-2 pitch. A flare into shallow center, might drop. That ball's a hit. Headed to third is Garciaparra. It's 1st and 3rd with 2 out. And the tying run is 90 feet away. But remember, Stanley, who was hit by a pitch, lifted for a pinch runner. So we look at the flare by O'Leary, and this game falls into the lap of Damon Buford.
That's a similar hit that Paul O'Neill put the Yankees ahead with in the 7th inning. I think Joe Torre is going to talk to Rivera and to Joe Girardi about what to do in the unlikely happenstance if O'Leary takes off for second base. See him talking to the middle infielders. Girardi looking to both Knobloch, and now here comes Derek Jeter, and Knobloch just whispered something to Jeter. So as much as talking about the hitter, they're talking about what to do in case O'Leary runs.
Be sure to stay tuned to Fox for your late local news immediately following this game too. For those of you who want more coverage of tonight's game, turn to your local Fox Sports Net for Fox Sports News. Damon Buford could tie this game with a hit. Tying run at third. Go ahead run on at first with 2 out, 9th inning. And a fastball is high to Buford. Ball 1.
Well, Buford's in the ball game because Mike Stanley was hit by a pitch on the right wrist from Jeff Nelson.
He has been taken for x-rays. It's Buford at the plate. And it's 2-0 from Rivera. Garciaparra with the 2-out, 2-strike base hit. Then a flare hit by O'Leary, giving Buford a chance. Two and 1. And again, the Red Sox down to their final strike. Game over. Yankees win game 2. The veteran right-handers in on the decision. David Cone, the winner, 1-0 this year in the postseason, 7-3 lifetime. Ramon Martinez went 6 2/3, suffers the loss, his first in his career in the postseason. Rivera gets his 10th postseason save.
Rivera got the save, but the man in the middle, Ramiro Mendoza, the most important guy out of the pen tonight.
We were wondering if that Yankee bullpen would be rusty. They came in and got the job done when Joe Torre needed them tonight.
So many chances for the Red Sox. So many missed opportunities. 1 for 12 tonight with runners in scoring position. And we take you down to Keith Olbermann. Keith.
O'Neill, the game-winning hitch, and this Red Sox-Yankees series is living up to expectations. You look like you just went through the Second World War.
Enough for these one-run games. I mean, there's a lot of intensity. There's no doubt from pitch one, and obviously we'd like to bust out and score some runs, but their guys are throwing the ball well for them.
What were you trying to do batting against a tough left-hander like Real Cormier with a season that you had against left-handed pitching at 190? What were you trying to achieve?
I mean, you're just trying to hit the ball. You put the ball in play. He gets ahead. He's tough. I mean, it looks great in the paper, but believe me, I didn't hit it hard. I was fortunate to find a hole.
Physically, how do you feel? It's so hard to tell whether you're in pain or pain over an at-bat.
No, I feel good. Today I felt really good, and so much has been blown out of proportion on this thing. Believe me, I'm happy to be out there, and it's been a lot of fun so far.
This series, do you expect this to continue in this fashion the rest of the way?
I hope not. These are tough games.
Thank you, Paul. Back upstairs now to Joe. David
All right,
Cohn is
Keith.
here.
All right, Keith, thank you very much, and our thanks to Paul O'Neill. And we will take you back down to Keith, who is with tonight's winner, David Cone.
They're just filing by, Joe. David, the Red Sox-Yankees series was supposed to be a series of barn burners, one-run games. Paul just said he'd like to have seen the last one tonight.
I hope, yeah. And they're a resilient team. They gave tough at-bats all night. I was in trouble all night and had to make some big pitches. And, of course, Garciaparra got me at one time.
That 2 balls were hit by the Red Sox. The one Baratek hit off of you bounced literally at the top of the cushion down the right field line. And then the later shot by O'Leary might have been an inch below being home runs. This is less than a one-run game, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's amazing. I mean, we caught some breaks. There's no doubt about it. You have to feel pretty lucky when balls hit off the top of the wall and they stay in.
David, congratulations. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Keith.
All right, Joe, back up to you.
All right, Keith, thank you. In the end, the Red Sox strand 13 runners on base. 1918, the last time the Red Sox won the World Series, trying to get back there for the first time since 1986. Down 2-0 in this American League Championship Series. So for Tim McCarver, Bob Brentley, Keith Olbermann, and Steve Lyons, this is Joe Buck.